It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and today we're taking a look at the 5 films released on October 24th, 2008. Another wide assortment of different movies to look at here, and let's go ahead and just get right to it. Starting off with the biggest new release of the weekend, bringing High School Musical to the big screen for the first time ever, High School Musical 3, Senior Year.
From Walt Disney Pictures, be the first to see their last year together.
I'm gonna have a last dance at East High. It's gonna be with you.
This fall, experience the memories.
This is our last chance to do something together.
The surprises and goodbyes of senior year.
I'm a lot better at saying goodbye than you.
Why are you saying goodbye?
High School Musical 3. Now playing only in theaters.
Which kind of makes sense when you really think about it. The first two movies were surprise successes on the Disney Channel. They were bringing in money for Disney, so they figure, why not put what was supposed to be the final installment of the series onto the big screen and see what happens? And this is still technically the final movie in the series, even though the franchise has continued with spin-offs, TV series spin-off as well. But in this movie, you have Troy Bolton, once again played by Zac Efron, Gabriella, Vanessa Hudgens, Sharpay, Ashley Tisdale, her twin brother Ryan, played by Lucas Grabeel, and Chad Danforth, Corbin Bleu, and Taylor McKessie, played by Monique Coleman, who are in the final year of high school and face the daunting prospect of being separated as they go off to college. Joined by the rest of their East High classmates, they stage their last spring musical, reflecting their experiences, hopes, and fears about the future. So essentially, yeah, this is basically the equivalent to a series finale of a television show. I mean, it's almost kind of like the Daria finale, because it was basically the same thing. You know, it was the last day of high school before everybody goes off on their separate ways. And unlike that show, which was very funny and had a good finale overall, this is your typical High School Musical movie. There's nothing really that bad about it per se, and yeah, it is what it is. If you go into it knowing what you've seen from the other two movies, it's basically that, except with a much bigger budget overall. I mean, it's fine for what it is. It really is nothing that's going to be that offensive or anything too, like, damaging to your kids and all that. Basically, if you saw the first two movies, you're going to get what you want here, and a little bit more of a bigger budget overall. And, yeah. But to its credit, it does show you the promising future that these actors have going forward. Because, of course, following this, Zac Efron would later reteam with Kenny Ortega again for their next movie, 17 again, which could come out not but 6 months later and show that, hey, this guy's got some acting chops. Vanessa Hudgens would star in a movie where she got to show off her acting chops. Ashley Tisdale's become a prolific voice actress, of course, playing Candace on Phineas and Ferb. So, yeah, a lot of these actors have gone on to do bigger and better things, and, yeah, what you get here is what you get here overall. So, yeah, nothing really more to say about this one. Have you seen the other High School Musical movies? You're going to like this one, too. I mean, this is just like those movies, except with a much bigger budget, and yeah, the fan base will definitely love it. Non-conformers, I'd say stay away from it, but then again, there's really no reason for you to see it if you're not a fan of it, per se, but then again, you may have gone to see it that weekend if you said that you wanted to see High School Musical 3, but you really wanted to sneak into our next movie.
I want to play a game. I'm the man you call Jigsaw. Saw 5. Rated R in theaters October 24th.
That is, of course, Saw 5, which, yeah, it makes sense that, you know, people that want to go into Saw 5 would want to buy a ticket for High School Musical 3 and then sneak into Saw 5 when nobody's looking, which, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, you can probably do it easily, but anyway, in this movie, you have, this time around, FBI agent Peter Strahm, played by Scott Patterson, investigating the murders committed by Jigsaw, played by Tobin Bell again. But as he delves deep into the case, he realizes that the murders are part of a much larger, more intricate plot. Meanwhile, Jigsaw's accomplice, Mark Hoffman, Costas Mandalore, has been promoted to lieutenant and is tasked with leading the investigation into the Jigsaw murders. However, as Strahm gets closer to the truth, he becomes the target of Jigsaw's traps. Lather, rinse, repeat, pretty much the same thing as the other movies, except, as I said before, each one of these movies gets worse and worse with every film, and even the appeal of seeing what new devious traps are going to be in store for this really do start to get old pretty quickly. And yeah, the last movie in particular, I think really kind of like was the tipping point in terms of what they were able to do in general here. But once you take the director away, Darren Lynn Bousman, who made the last couple of movies, and bring in another director as a whole, it really does start to lose its muster as a whole. Like, the series really has not really gotten... It was really at a low point at this point, because, yeah, it was pretty much everybody going in there expecting the same thing, except what elaborate, cool-looking traps are going to set up here. And even the traps in here, in this movie, are really not that strong overall, so, yeah. But they would turn it around with the next movie, Saw 6, but unfortunately there was another smaller horror movie that was coming around to take Saw's thunder away from them, but we'll delve into that when we come up to next year's Halloween. But, I mean, honestly, if you really want to see the best Saw movie out there, all you have to do is go, in that year, all you have to do is go on to YouTube and look up this right here.
Murder in college? I don't know.
16 years later, and that's still one of the greatest YouTube videos of all time. I mean, a collaboration of Saw and High School Musical, done with the graphics that you're able to do in 2008, and looking pretty much like the real thing. I mean, the scene with Zac Efron with the knives in his hands, like that looks real. Like that looks like something they actually put in that movie, and it's funny, man. You gotta watch the whole thing to really get the sense of what I'm talking about here. But that's the better Saw movie than the Saw movie that we had in theaters that year. So, there you go. That's my thoughts on Saw 5. So, with all that said, let's get to some of the other movies that came out this weekend, starting with Edward Norton and Colin Farrell starring in Pride and Glory.
They're dead. Our money's missing. There's only one of those things we can get back.
Now, what is going on here? Were you in on this?
We sold our shields off. Highest bidder. Murder for hire.
Did you hear what I said? Jimmy executed him.
Be smart. They were burying the truth.
This goes deeper than you think.
I will not apologize for doing what I do.
Pride and Glory. Rated R. Starts October 24th.
Yeah, a lot of usually reliable hands on this movie, and yet they made a film that is so boring, so dull, so generic, and just, yeah, been there, done that before. You have this, stop me if you've heard this before. You have a story of an NYPD detective played by Edward Norton who uncovers a police corruption scandal that implicates his brother-in-law, Colin Farrell, threatening to unravel their tightly bond family of law enforcement officers. Gee, that's a story that has been done to death so many times before. And the worst part about it is you have a director like Gavin O'Connor who has made a lot of really good movies. Miracle, Warrior, The Accountant, I mean, The Way Back, which I think is one of his more underrated movies with Ben Affleck. And not only that, this is co-written by Joe Carnahan, who did Smoking Aces. I mean, so much good talent on this film, and yet they give us the most bland, boring movie you could possibly take from this. And it's boring because nothing really interesting happens in this movie. It's literally a film where everything that happens in this movie has been done before in much better films, and they do not do anything new or exciting to make you want to see this film and see if it for something truly different. No, it's the same damn movie we've seen before, time and time again. And yeah, the performances are fine in here. Edward Norton, Colin Farrell are fine in here. Jon Voight's okay. Noah Emmerich's fine. Jennifer Ellie's fine in this. But other than that, though, there's really nothing that makes this something that you need to see. This is a movie that's been done to death before so many times in much better movies. And yeah, just didn't work. A lot of good talent on board here, but just goes to show you that good talent does not save a good movie. To save a movie like this, that's boring, dull, lifeless, and stuff we've seen done before so many times. So yeah, a hard skip on Pride and Glory. So let's go ahead and move on to the next movie we have here, and that is the first of two Clint Eastwood movies in this fall of 2008. Angelina Jolie starring in Changeling.
It gets dark.
Los Angeles, March 10th, 1928.
Walter?
Christine Collins' son vanished. 5 months later, the police told her son had been found alive.
That's not my son.
It's not Walter as you remember.
The mystery of what happened would change a city forever.
You would stop looking for my son.
Why should we
And that is
be
your
looking for
responsibility.
someone we've already found?
I want my son back!
I want my Oscar, damn it! Oh wait, I got one already. That's probably what Angelina Jolie was thinking when she was doing that line. And hey, an excuse for me to use my Oscar again. But once again, feels very much like the real thing. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Changeling. Changeling is, of course, based on a true story, specifically the 1928 Wineville chicken coop murders in Mira, California, and focuses on Angelina Jolie as a woman united with a boy who she realizes is not her missing son. When she tries to demonstrate that to the police and the city authorities, she is vilified as delusional, labeled as an unfit mother, and confined to a psychiatric ward. The film explores themes of child endangerment, female disempowerment, political corruption, and mistreatment of mental health patients. And also the themes of, let's just fuck around with the Angelina Jolie in here. I mean, good lord, this movie is a colossal misfire of a movie, which... I mean, the story is very interesting, like, especially considering who wrote this movie, J. Michael Straczynski, who, of course, is very much known for his work with the real Ghostbusters, and he's done mostly, like, comic book stuff. Like, he's never really, as far as I know, he never written a script like this before, so the fact that this movie is as lame as it is, I mean, this is a dull, boring movie that just... And like I said, it feels like they're trying nothing more but to get an Oscar nomination out of this, several Oscar nominations out of it. And even Clint Eastwood feels like he's falling asleep at the wheel on this movie. I mean, this film gets really annoying really fast because Angelina Jolie has a legitimate case to say that, hey, this is not my son, but people keep pushing this on her, like, you know, take your son and shut the fuck up. Like, it's just like if there was a point to it, if something actually happens to make you want to root for the people involved in here, then maybe, just maybe, this movie could have been salvaged. But there's just nothing there. It's a movie where you're literally watching Angelina Jolie being pushed around, being treated badly, and being vilified as somebody that she clearly isn't. This is basically the equivalent of a gossip. Somebody who gossips a lot, and basically everybody believing what she says, and you know, you're the guilty one. Like, it really does feel like that watching this movie. I never got the sense that anybody in this movie should be praised or responsible for what they did here. Except, you know, Angelina Jolie is fine in the movie, and you know, Jeffrey Donovan is okay in here too. John Malkovich is good in this, but besides that, though, just the fact that everybody in this movie, except for Angelina Jolie, comes off as a straight-up asshole, and just, like, why are they even doing this? They never really give a good indication of what good this does to tell this woman that this is your son when it's clearly not. Like, what good is that going to do for you as the head of the police station? It's just like it's just... It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. It's a lousy film, and thank God Clint Eastwood had a much better movie come out a couple months later, because, yeah, this was not good. This was not a good movie at all. What a disappointment this was. What a major letdown this was, letting good performances by Jolie, Malkovich, and Jeffrey Donovan just go off to the side here. And Clint Eastwood really sleptwalk his way through this movie. I never felt like this guy really was 110% involved in this movie, and I feel bad for J. Michael Straczynski. I mean, you always want to see somebody that used to watch his stuff as a kid, like with the real Ghostbusters. You want to see him advance as a filmmaker as a whole. Even looking at the films that he has written, none of them really are that good. Ninja Assassin, Underworld Awakening, I guess Thor and World War Z are passable, but even then, they're not the greatest movies overall. And I still think Thor is the worst of the MCU movies, but World War Z is not that bad overall. But yeah, like I said, everybody feels like they're sleepwalking through this, especially Clint Eastwood. Like, you expect so much better with the people involved in here, and it's just not there, man. It's a movie that is such a disappointment, such a letdown considering all that's on board here, and just, it's a dull, lifeless movie. Kind of like with the last one we looked at. Dull and lifeless. The performances are fine in here, but it's not enough to save the film. So yeah, a hard skip on Changeling. So with that said, let us go ahead and move on to the last film we have here, and that is a good movie that we have here, Let the Right One In.
Oscar, tycker du om mig? Ja, jättemycket. Om jag inte hade varit en flicka, hade du tyckt om mig ändå?
So the story here of Let the White One In, based off of the novel the same name, is about this bully 12-year-old boy who develops a friendship with a strange child in Blackburg, a suburb of Stockholm in the early 1980s. And of course, if you know the story, this child turns out to be a vampire. And yeah, this is a really fantastic film. It's a really engaging film. The two leads in this movie are very good. It's a very interesting take on the vampire storyline here, where it's a vampire kid, and it's not an adult vampire in this situation here, and how she becomes friends with this little boy, and it works really well. It's a really engaging story. You buy into the relationships of the two leads. The cinematography is great. The writing overall is really good, and it is such a very good, heartfelt film. Yeah, it's a horror film, but it's a very emotional, heartfelt film that really does work on so many levels. It's a very enjoyable film that, of course, later was remade into a remake, Let Me In, which was alright. It was actually not as bad as people were making out to be when they first announced it, but I mean, you got good performances in there, and it's a film that I thought actually did work better than a lot of people were expecting from it. But the director of this is Tomas Alfredson, who would later go on to direct, I think he did Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and The Snowman, which basically goes to show you that once he came to the U.S., yeah, they really messed up his great stretch of really solid filmmaking, and yeah, those movies are not that good, but Let the Right One In is definitely the best film that this guy has directed. It's one that I do recommend checking out. If you haven't seen it already, it's a great film. Let the Right One In. So on that note, we're going to wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies, and next time around, Halloween week comes around, Halloween weekend. And yeah, nobody's going to be releasing anything too big on this weekend. But we do have Zack and Miri Make a Porno, the Kevin Smith film, which is probably his most mainstream movie up to this point, and one that I have fond memories of because it was actually filmed at Monroeville Mall, and I actually was up there whenever they were filming that movie. But we'll delve more into that next time around. But besides that, we also have stop me if you heard this, another Exorcist movie, The Haunting of Molly Hartley. So yeah, we've got that one. So at least one of these movies will at least be good. But with that said, that's going to wrap this episode up. We'll take a look at those movies coming up tomorrow on the show. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification and the bell button. That's where you get updates on when new videos come out. We do post new videos here every day. And also, don't forget to hit our playlist and check out the previous episode I did. So with all that said, I'm off. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, as always, take care.